We have so many palettes to talk about. I want to show you them all. I want to rave about them and create 4 looks. Let's jump into it. We are going to be talking about the best collaboration palettes of 2023, the best creator collab palettes of the year. I didn't want to put creator collabs into my yearly ranking video because honestly, I'm just so excited when I see other creators getting to work with their favorite brands, getting to express their creativity, to make something that they love, bring their vision to life. I wanted to do a completely separate video just for collabs, and I decided instead of just talking about the collabs, we would actually use them, and we're gonna combine collab palettes and we're gonna do 4 looks. I'm super excited about it. It's gonna be a good time. I am 99.9% sure I have YouTube videos, either short form videos or long form videos or get ready with me's or dedicated videos or whatever on every single collab that I'm gonna talk about. I'm very excited. Like I said, I love seeing other creators succeed. So I have some Gourmand Girls, some Unearthly, some Adept, some Melt, some Odin's Eye, some Bella Beaute Bar, some Inslee Rain, some Sigma, a new brand. We have a lot. We have a lot. So I've already done the first 2 looks, so we're gonna share those first. I will have the creators tagged or listed in the description box. I will have links to everything I talk about. I am just excited. I want to share some positivity. I want to share some love with my fellow creators. I want to have some fun today. So I'm going to show you my first 2 looks, and I'm going to prime my eyes, and we're going to create today as well. So let's jump into it. I have pulled the Gourmand Girls Doodles by the Bunny Nightshade palette, and I'm going to start with Woody, this deep dark shade. I want to do a dark look, so I think starting with the darkest shade is going to be perfect. So I've got that on my Singe brush. I have my eyes primed with my Persuade primer. Of course, I will link it and the brushes and everything in the description box. And I'm just gonna pack this dark purple all in the socket. I'm also gonna put this color on the outer corner of my lid, and we are going to pull it onto my lower lash line back and forth like this. Now I'm going to pull in the Warriors Wear Pink palette. This is with Sierra Soto, and we have this really pretty color story. I want to use this shade Brave. I really like this purple tone because it's a little more like murky, and I think it's going to be really, really pretty with this. But I realized I didn't show you Nightshade really well earlier, so here is Nightshade. Of course, you can check out other videos on my channel like to see the swatches and all of that, but I'm gonna take that Brave shade from Warriors Wear Pink, and I'm just going to lightly buff that and use it as kind of a buffing and blending out shade for that deeper, darker purple. So I'm just kind of lightly buffing the skin, letting it fade into that more murky, light tone. Next, I'm gonna jump in, not to a collaboration, but to a new brand this year. This is Divaroon Cosmetics, and this is their The Moth and the Moon palette. Now, I decided to pull this one from my rankings and put it into collaborations because I wanted to give it its special moment. It's a brand new brand. This is created by the Instagram account person, M. Jones, and this is the first palette from the brand. I think this is so beautiful. I was so excited to see a new brand pop up from a creator. So even though it's not a collaboration palette, I thought it would fit in well. It's the first palette. As they launch more, I will definitely like put those in rankings. I won't pull them out special for the future, but for the first one, I wanted to create something with this, and I do have a short here on my channel for a tutorial with this one. And we have so many beautiful shades in this palette, but I think we're going to use this shade right up here. It's a beautiful shifty shadow. It has a lot of pretty sparkle to it. I think it's going to go really beautiful with the purple mattes that we have down. So I'm going to pick that shade up on my brush. I'm going to spray it with a little setting spray, and we are going to apply it. Okay, this is so like reflective and intense. It's really gorgeous. I'm gonna pull my shimmer up high. I'm gonna pull it all the way up to my socket. If you have hooded eyes or you don't have a lot of lid, definitely like pull the shimmer way up. You can take it off the lid. Like if you see, I have several folds in my eye with my deep set eyes and a deep bone, so I just like to play around with placement. So I'm putting it right here on my lid where I had no shadow, and then I'm also carrying it up on top of that purple matte, so that even when my eyes are open, even though I have like the crease and the folds here, it's still going to like continue up that shimmer. I really like doing that, and I think it's fun to think outside of the box when we're playing with our shadow. Like, you can do whatever you want to do with your look, and if you try a new shadow placement and you don't like it, you can wash it off and try something new. Okay, I pulled another Doodles by the Bunny collab. This is the Haunted palette with Gourmand Girls. And what I want to do is go in with this shade right here. So here is the palette, really, really pretty. This is the shade called, let me see, Spectral. Sorry. I was like, what does that say? It's so small. But this is like a more, it's a shimmer, but it's leaning satin, and it's a beautiful kind of cool icy pink shade, and I think it's gonna look great with what we have going on the eyes. So I'm just gonna put this shade right here. See, it's very kind of like icy in tone. I'm gonna do the exact same thing on the other eye. I'm going to throw on liner and a lash, and then we will have our collaboration eye look. 4 shades, 4 palettes. All right, y'all, here is my finished look using these 4 palettes. All 3 were from Gourmand Girls and 1 from Diveroon Cosmetics. Not a collab palette, but you know, I am really loving this look. Again, I had fun just pulling the collabs, playing with them again. I wanted to tell the collaborators congratulations, all of that. I really like my look, but we do have more to talk about, so I will list the other makeup on me down below in the description box. Let's move on. Okay, we are going to create a look. I am going to use the Fatally Yours palette from Bailey Sarian. This is an all matte palette. This came out not too long ago with Milk Cosmetics. This is a collab I have been waiting for. I think it's a perfect fit between the creator and the brand. And we're going to start with this beautiful orangey shade right here. I'm going to pick that up on my What's Up Beauty brush. I will link the brushes that I use and the primer and everything in the description box. So I'm just going to press this right on top of my primer. And we're just going to put this kind of all right here in the socket. And then I'm just going to buff a little bit, buff it in, buff it out. Okay, also from Bailey's palette, I want to use this deep brown shade called Mercury. And so I'm going to pick that up on my brush, and I'm going to deepen up the outer corner right out here. I'm going to press it on the lid and up and out, and then circle it around to blend under my lower lash line. Okay, to kind of like buff out these deep dark shades, I'm going to jump over to my collaboration, my Resurgence palette with Unearthly, and I'm going to go into this shade right here called Life. This is a satin shade, not a shimmer, not a matte, a satin. So it's going to be perfect for blending. You can see very white, but we are going to buff it and kind of work these shadows in so that we get a really nice blend. Okay, so for the lid, I'm gonna go over to my collaboration with Adept. This launched last year in 2022, but I wanna use it because I love it. It is available. Adept did restock it. So we're gonna use the shade Hey Y'all. Right here, I'm going to pick this up on my brush. I'm going to spray my brush, and we're going to put this all over the lid. Okay, so I'm just going to kind of press this on my lid first. And then once I have most of the shadow off my brush, then I will blend it in. This shade Hey Y'all is so sparkly and gorgeous. I think it's going to look really beautiful with these deep dark mattes from Bailey's palette. Okay, last I want to go back to my Resurgence palette, and we are going to grab for this shade right here called Jewel, this shifty multi-chrome, but we're just going to keep it right here on the inner corner. I'm going to do liner and a lash, and then we will be done with this look. I'm into it. All right, y'all, I'm the absolute worst. I'm so sorry. I forgot to get a clip of my finished look with my Heather Austin Adept collab, Unearthly Heather Austin collab, Resurgence, and the Bailey Sarian Fatally Yours palette. Please, please, please forgive me. If you want to see more of that look, I did wear it in my empties video that I posted recently. I'm not sure when these videos are going up, but I was wearing that eye look there. So if you want to see more of it completed, definitely check out that video. But we're going to do two different eye looks today. We're going to do a look on each eye, look 3 and 4. On my lips though, I'm already wearing my Allie Dawson lip duo. My friend Allie created a lip duo and a palette, but I thought from her collab we would do this lip duo. This is Koa and Kai. I love, named after her sweet puppies. Allie and I both have German Shepherds. Love that for us. So I'm wearing her lip duo. So that's what we're going to do from Allie's collab. And then on my face, I'm wearing my collab from Hot Mess Mama MD, Rhonda, who I actually got to meet in person recently in Vegas, and I was just so happy about that. But from her collab, I decided to wear her highlighter. So she has these 3 face shades down here. Again, I will link everything down in the description box. Oh, and I don't think I've said it yet, but I will put these in the description box. Some of these brands I do have affiliated codes with or discount codes, but I will put those in the description box. Most of the time, 99% of the times, collabs are excluded from the use of affiliate codes or discount codes, but just in case, I will put those in the description box. FYI. Okay, I've got my eye primed for shadow. We are going to start off with Angelica Nyqvist and Odin's Eye in the Halloween collection. So we're going to use the second palette soon. There are also beautiful lip products in this collection. I am excited. This is the Trick or Treat palette. Look how beautiful. Yes, I have video with all of the Odin's Eye palettes. Definitely check them out. I want to first dip into this shade Cemetery. I'm also going to use Angie's brand. She started her own independently owned beauty brand this year, making these gorgeous brushes, Singe Beauty. Of course, I will link them down below, but I'm going to start off by tapping any creases out of my primer, and then we're going to take Cemetery, and I'm going to start kind of 2/3 of the way into my socket and out a bit like this. So right here is my socket, and I'm going to just kind of press the shade on like this and then kind of lightly blend a bit. Next, I'm gonna grab my Sea Talk palette from Lauren Mae Beauty in Odin's Eye. I love Lauren. I've got to meet her and hang out with her a couple of times now, and so cool. So cool, like just a cool person. Love her. Obviously gorgeous, beautiful, right? Like we have color, we have neutral. My favorite shade in the palette is this one. It's this, I don't even know how to describe it. It's yellow, but green, fluorescent, but also goes with everything. I don't know. But the shade I'm actually gonna reach for in this palette today is this deep dark navy called Night Swim. So I'm gonna take Night Swim, and I'm going to go in with just a little bit at a time because I don't want this deep dark blue to get away from me. I want to make sure that I'm just adding a little bit at a time because I want to keep it somewhat low right here on the outer part of the lid and up and then out a little bit like this, and just a tiny touch under the lower lash line in the outer corner. I'm trying to not pull my mirror so close to my face like I normally do so that you can see kind of what I'm doing right out here. Next, I'm gonna dip into Planet Spirit, Odin's Eye, and Betty Jean. I love Betty Jean. I have also got to meet not only her, but her husband a few times now. She's met my husband, my son, like I love her. And she has collaborated with Shroud Cosmetics in years past, and I love those palettes so much. So I was so happy to see her working with Odin's Eye and bringing us bright colors. I think it's so fun, and I think Betty Jean just did such a good job. I love her, totally not biased at all towards my friends, maybe so. But I want to dip into this beautiful purple shade right here called Pride. I love this shade. I think it's so beautiful. So I'm going to take that and I'm going to smudge it on my lower lash line. Okay, so I'm pressing this with my Singe brush right on the lower lash line, and I'm kind of pressing it on first to really make sure that pigment stays where I want it, and then I'm gonna buff and blend in a minute. How gorgeous is this? It's like a pinky purple. I really love this matte shade. Okay, we're gonna jump over to the Little Ghost palette. This is the other palette that Angie did with Odin's Eye. So pretty. This one has such a good color story, but I want to reach for this shade right here called Skeleton. I don't know why I said it weird like that. Skeleton. It is so incredibly pale purple. I love it. It's gonna be perfect. We're going to kind of buff everything out under the lower lash line, this blue out here, and then that beautiful mauve-y color we started with. And then I'm just going to kind of blend around in like a C shape like this to kind of buff and make sure we don't have any like harsh lines or anything like that. Okay. my friend Amanda, Makeup Just for Fun, here on YouTube, collaborated with Odin's Eye for the Flora Story palette. Look how pretty this is with these purples and greens. Beautiful, right? Beautiful. I have a video on all of these palettes, but recently, like this month, I can't remember when exactly, but in December, Amanda and I collaborated on a video where we mixed her collab with my collab from Unearthly Resurgence. She did 2 looks, I did 2 looks. Definitely check them out if you want more inspiration, but I just love her so much. Like, definitely my soul sister, you know? So we are going to go into her palette, and I want to use her beautiful multi-chrome right here called Dawn. And I'm going to put that on the inner corner, yes, but where we kind of did not bring that first shade all the way in, I'm going to bring this multi-chrome from my inner corner. I'm going to wrap it around just a little bit to layer on top of this beautiful purpley pink from Betty Jean's palette, and I'm going to bring it up almost to the front of my brow. Not quite that much, but I'm going to keep it the most intense right here. So with all my shimmers, I'm going to spray my brush for my looks today. I'm going to pick up the shadow on my brush. I'm going to spray my brush with a little setting spray, makeup mist, whatever. It doesn't matter. I just grab whatever's closest to me, and we are going to put this on. It's going to be so pretty. Okay, so I'm going to take this, and I'm going to press my brush first right on the inner corner like that. So that's where it's going to be most intense. And then I'm going to lightly drag it right here under the lower lash line. And then I'm going to bring it up right here, kind of where my socket starts. And I'm going to press. I'm going to bring this up above my crease or above my socket so that you can see it even when my eye is open. Depending on your eye shape, bring your shimmers above your crease or your socket or whatever you have if you want to. Like, do what you want to with your makeup. It is your face. So I'm just going to have that right there. So as I go about my day today, because yes, I wear 2 different eye looks, even like out of the house. Nobody has stopped me from entering an establishment because of it before. Like literally the only people who are like shook that I wear 2 eye looks out of the house are people on social media. Like nobody that I've met in person has ever cared. They still let me go in Kroger with 2 different eye looks on. So as I go about my day today and I move, like especially from the side, you're going to see that multi-chrome right in here. Not quite as much face on like this, but definitely as I'm living my life. And that makes me so incredibly happy. So I'm just kind of spending a little time making sure I have that blended, pulling it over just a bit. Okay, we're gonna bring in one more shade. We're gonna jump back over to the Sea Talk palette from Lauren Mae Beauty, and we are going to use this beautiful shade right here called Smoky Pearl. All right, I'm going to press that shade right on the center of my lid. It's almost taking on this kind of purpley type of shade on my lid with this matte that we have up here, but I feel like when I pair it with like more warm browns, it becomes a little more like warm and bronze. I don't know, maybe it's just me, but I love, and that's gonna be this completed look. I am into it. And we'll, of course, do liner, we'll do a lash. But before we do that, I want to move on and I want to do this eye look over here because I have even more collabs to rave about. Okay, we're gonna create over on this eye now, and I'm gonna put down an eyeshadow primer, but then we will start with the Ann Nook Sigma palette. Absolutely love Sigma, and I thought this was such a cool like makeup artist collaboration. I am really wanting to use this kind of like golden camel brown color. This is called Cinnamon Roll. There are some really pretty like warm tones, cool tones, and pops of color in this palette, and it's a really beautiful like Sigma formula as well. We even have like a satin formula, which y'all know I enjoy, but I think we're gonna start off with Cinnamon Roll. So I'm gonna throw down my eyeshadow primer and we're going to put down this shade. Okay, we are going to start off with Cinnamon Roll. I'm putting this on with a brush from my favorites collection with Sigma. And I'm just going to kind of do the same type of placement that we did on this eye. Next, I'm going to grab for my Sigma Angela Bright palette. I really love this palette. I look at this and I feel like Angela Bright and I probably have some similar taste because the formulas in here are so beautiful. This gold is like a duochrome to kind of green type of shade. She just nailed it. I love the mix of neutrals and color, but the shade I want to use today is this green. Green is my favorite color, so we're gonna use some greens for this look. Okay, so we're taking that shade Faye. This is a Sigma E15, and I'm going to press this right up against the lower lash line. It's this really pretty like emerald color that has a little bit of like a silvery type of reflect or like shimmer to it. I don't know. It's just very like icy. Like picture a beautiful dark green Christmas tree and then it rained and then the rain froze on top like that. That is what I think of with this shade. So I'm just going to drag this under the lower lash line. Next, I'm pulling in the Best Mattes palette. This is a collaboration, Bella Beaute Bar and Ellie Starr and Brittany Huffman. So like best friends and best mattes. I cannot say enough good things about this palette. Like Brittany Huffman and Ellie Starr did so good on this palette. It is a fully magnetic all matte palette. It's massive and I love it. I am actually going to pull 2 shades in from this palette for our look today. Listen, the formula, impeccable. These 2 green shades. So this green right down here at the bottom is what we're going to start with. And then this green right up here next to this kind of teal is what we're going to go in with next. Okay, so I'm going to start with that lighter olive kind of right on my outer portion of my lid and up. So I'm using my Singe brush, and you can see this is a larger brush. I'm gonna put it way like higher and more blown out than I did with the navy over here. So it's going to swap up a little bit from what we did over here. And I'm going to just kind of drag it out a little further as well and blend it in a little further too. Okay, I've got that deeper, brighter green on another brush from my Sigma set. And I'm going to keep this right on top of the olive that we put down. And I'm going to keep it lower. So I'm just kind of layering it on top. And I'm not going to drag it out as far either. So we're just going to keep it right in here. Okay, Salem Cosmetics and Smink. I'm just going to say Smink because I cannot say Smink. I can't say the rest, okay? I believe she is Swedish, and I do not want to butcher her name, but of course it will be in the description box. And we are gonna use the Forest Heart palette. They collaborated on this palette. Such a pretty one, right? So pretty. I actually want to reach in just to a little touch of Tree Frog, this really pretty matte shade right here. So let me grab a brush, and we are going to drag that underneath that beautiful shimmer that we have on the lower lash line, just to kind of like buff out a little bit with a matte shade. I'm not going to take it right up against the lashes, like I'm not going to layer it on top. I'm just going to do so more like where the shimmer ends and kind of drag it out to my outer corner mattes. On a brush from my Sigma set. I always try to link my brushes, eye primers, everything in the description box as well, and in like the YouTube shopping thing if I can. But this shade is really pretty, and I think it's going to work great right under the lower lash line. I think it's really going to complement that shimmer well. Okay, we are going to add a little pizzazz to our look now, something a little different. We are going to grab in to Crystal Skies. This is a collab between Inslee Rain and Shifty Shadow, and their collaboration is absolutely gorgeous. Now, I am going to put the Instagram handles of the Instagram creators down below in the description box. That way you can directly like see them on Instagram. I will put their handle there. And for YouTube, I will like @ them and tag their channel. So you can just click on their name, see their channel. That's what I'm going to do when I link to these. So, but I think we're gonna start with Morganite and Crystal Gazer, yes, Morganite, Crystal Gazer, these two. But if I remember correctly, these are like hand pressed shadows, the shimmers. So we're going to use these, very sparkly, very beautiful, very intense. I'm gonna pick them up on my brush, spray my brush. Okay, so I've got this on my Singe brush, and we're gonna do like what we did on the other eye. I'm gonna start by pressing it on the inner corner, just a little flick there. And then I'm going to bring this shade up. This is such a gorgeous, like multi-chrome shade that's like purple, pinky, peach. And then it has like almost rainbow sparkle to it. Really beautiful. So I'm just going to kind of put this in the same area that we did with the Odin's Eye Florist Story Amanda's palette over there. Kind of the same placement like this. Again, you're gonna see the full like shift in person as I go about my day. So I'm going to enjoy that so much. And then I'm going to go in with Crystal Gazer. And this one we're gonna put right in the center of our lid. See how intense that is? And I'm going to kind of buff and blend so I don't have any harsh lines. Really, really beautiful green sparkle heavy shadow. Super beautiful. Now, I'm gonna wipe away if I have any fallout. I'm going to throw on liner and mascara and probably a lash, and then I will be right back. All right, y'all, here we have looks 3 and 4, complete with liner and a lash. I will link the lash, everything down below in the description box. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed watching this video. I know that you're probably not pulling together 5+ palettes to create an eye look every day, but I thought it would be fun. You know, if you want to create these looks, if you want to shop your stash, pull something together to recreate, definitely do. But mainly, I wanted to talk about the best, most favorite creator collab palettes and lip products and face products of the year. I just wanted to celebrate other creators, their accomplishments, and have some fun with makeup. So I, of course, love all of these things that we talked about. I had a great time. I had fun. Please do subscribe. I have lots of content coming. Also wanted to say, because I think this is the first video you may be seeing, my background is probably going to be changing over the next little bit. You can see it's a little different right now. We're doing some, like, I don't want to say home renovations because that sounds like intense. I don't want to say improvements, but like we're changing some stuff up around my house. So I'm kind of having to move some things around, and I'll try to keep it aesthetically pleasing and me in the background for the videos. But if I pop up and there's like patched paint or nothing behind me, or who knows, bear with me. Bear with me. I am having a great day. I hope you are having a great day. Don't forget to subscribe, give this video a thumbs up. Let me know if you have any of these palettes that we talked about throughout our 4 looks. And I will see you very soon in another video. Bye!